Hey everybody, this is Matt Spencer and Donnie Kyte. We're here to talk about Ikewear and how it got started and how it helps the community and how we build together, as a community.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Appreciate it, man. DK live in the flesh.
No doubt, no doubt. So what year did you start Ikewear?
I started in 1998.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I remember 98. I had a 98 Lincoln Town Car, a black one. I've got, there used to be a car dealership over on the way to Kennywood that had those like $500 cars you could get.
Yeah.
If you were a mechanic, you could get one. You know what I mean?
But you had that, would they be having that license deal?
Right,
that
license deal, and then you had to go across the street to get that weird fake insurance.
Okay.
They had all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
So Ikewear is based on a young man's name, right?
It's a combination of the influence of a great man that come from the Hill District, Sean Harris, aka Ike, aka Ike Dog, aka Ike. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So if those of y'all that don't know, Sean Harris, the great late Sean Harris, died in a car crash. His nickname was Ike before he had passed away, and when he passed away, man, it just meant so much to us in this Hill District community, man, and a lot of the guys that he hung with. You know, in reference, I got to give credit to Black Boo, Sharon, Nate. You know, them are some of his intermediate guys. Pook Devil, Abdul, BMU, period, man. Big Rome, all them guys, BMU. Them guys made sure they kept his name alive. And then a lot of us guys under them made sure we did the same. And then that thing just spread all around the Hill District, man. Just so for the love of him, we kept his nickname alive, which was Ike, which ended up turning into a situation where we put Ike in our head, Ike on our shirts, Ike on our cars. It was Ike everything. To now you hear it turns into a terminology, which I say is a term of endearment because it's our greeting. So when you hear us out here say, "What's up, Ike? What's up, Ike? Hey, Ike, hey," that's what I derived from. Yeah. That influence of Sean Harris. Now, I took that influence and I turned it into the clothing line you have today, which is now Ikewear.
That's nice. And one thing I thought that was unique about his memory and his name is like, so I come from Lincoln. I mean, I grew up here too because my grandfolks lived over here. Yeah. But I came from Lincoln, so a lot of our names like that, like Ike, come from street things and violence. And I thought that's unique about his name is you remember him as just a young man that had a car accident, but not you don't remember him or big him up because he was the biggest gangster or nothing like that. And I think that that's really unique. I like that.
And I appreciate that. Yeah. Yep. Nope. Just a great guy, man. A well-loved guy from the Hill District, man. You know.
That's awesome. So when you got into the clothing, did you start with doing hats or shirts, or how did you? What made you go down this path?
Well, I could first I'll attribute to me. I always say, you know, being in the streets and trying to make a way out of the streets. You know, I had caught a court case, small case, but you know, it was enough for me where the judge told me if I came back in there that they would give me a certain amount of time.
Right.
You know what I mean? That was enough for me. You know, I made a decision right there that I was done. You know, done with the streets. And it was a place I used to hang at called the Crazy Court. I went up to the Crazy Court, man, to start. Well, let me tell you, what I got from that case was probation. When I got the probation, they said if I violate that, then I would get this amount of time.
Okay.
I didn't want to get a judge the satisfaction to say, hey, didn't I tell you? So I made up my mind right there. I'm done. I went to the Crazy Court, started drawing up my designs. I showed them to the people. Once I got the okay with the people, they liked it. I went to my cousin Fletch. Shout out to Fletch, Nappy Heads. If y'all ain't familiar with Nappy Heads clothing, went to him, told him my idea. He helped me put it down. I actually got I started with 4 shirts. First, it was the Mad Circle shirts. For those that know, it was Mad Circle, which is, you know, an area that I represent. Mad Circle for life.
Nice.
We're in court, right? So I started the Mad Circle first, and then I went with Ikewear.
Okay.
But I started with 4 shirts. So I went from 4, and then when I got the Ikewear, I think I got maybe 60 or 70 shirts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And so it started with the shirts, and then now you got a whole building. You do the hats now.
Man, we do a lot, man. We come a long way, man. You know, like I said, you know, we got history because I got to put this out there, man. We the first ones to have a tennis shoe, you know, on the Hill District, man. So it's history. It's legendary now. It's etched in stone, man. We came from there, and now we here, you know.
Yes, it's definitely excellent to see, the greatness that you can do, for this area.
Yeah.
Now with the community days, you've done those in the past too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing that?
Well, actually, putting it on the side, I only did that for 2 years because I just got Ikewear Day.
Yeah.
Just been the past 2 years, but all the other years we've been giving back to the community a lot, giving out book bag drives, turkey drives, coat drives.
Nice.
Hat and glove drives, just a lot. We really, that's a real big part of us that I have to keep involved in this company, is to give back to the very people that, help me or may contribute to me, you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I had to give back. I'm not a taker, so,
Yeah, man, and I definitely appreciate you, man, and I'm glad that I got to come through and meet you, early on, so we could get this whole thing started, and I also like to give back, but...
Thank you, I appreciate that, man.
Definitely.
Matt blessed us, man, we put on a good event, man, just now, man, and it was great, and it's always good to hear when people say that they enjoyed it.
Definitely, man, and seeing all those people smile, like, you could see the happiness out there, and I was like, this is cool. I just remember, like, when I was little, growing up here in Pittsburgh, we had, like, the art cart, and then we had the thing at the library with the blow-up screen with the movies and stuff, and sometimes, like, you didn't really have much, so to be able to do something like that where your parents could just bring you to the place, they could just get you there, that you could have fun, and that's what we did.
Yeah, everything else is okay, taken care of. That's good.
Yeah. So, I've been watching your new podcast, your Boxing Perspective podcast now.
Yes, sir.
So you used to be a boxer?
I used to be a boxer.
Wow.
Short time, man. I had, well, let me say this. I'm actually blessed to be, come from a fighting family or a dad who knew how to fight as well and was a fighter too. So I was blessed with that. And then I ended up taking up after my dad and getting into boxing. It was short. I had 3 fights, went undefeated, 3-0, and I end up quitting.
Nice, nice.
End up quitting, but the knowledge and the love is still here in my heart. So whatever I can give back, whether it's the knowledge or whatever, I'm giving that back.
Absolutely, and you keep that discipline. Like I did, not boxing, but Shorin-ryu, which is like a Japanese style of martial arts. So I was a fan of Wu-Tang Clan. They used to always do the Shaolin style. Yeah. They didn't have Shaolin. Yeah, right, exactly. Go ahead, my bad. But they didn't have the that kind of martial arts where I lived. But they had the what's it called? The Shorin-ryu, which was close. So he still was Japanese and still like you kind of like Ichi, Sanshi, like you learn how to count in Japanese and all this stuff like and stuff like that. Like I haven't done it in years, but like you say, that sticks with you, man.
Yeah.
So was it I know my grandfather used to be around here at the boxing gyms. Was boxing kind of like a pretty large thing here in Pittsburgh?
Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Died down at one time. I want to say the 60s and the 70s for sure. That's around the time like my dad was boxing, and a lot of guys on the Hill District or just around the city period was boxing, man. And it was, trainers or people always trying to find alternatives to get us off of the streets. Yeah. And that was one of the ways, because the young guys don't know. What we know, we was taught to fight first. Right. It's a different thing. They're shooting first. Right, which doesn't make sense. They're not valuing life. Yeah, they're not valuing life. We knew how to fight. You want to fight first. Yep. Now if your life is in jeopardy, then maybe you have to go to another level. Right. But see, that's the whole different experience with us, is we was taught to fight first. Absolutely. We was taught how to fight too. Right. The guns was like the last case scenario. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've even been jumped and I still didn't do no crazy get back gun type thing. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, stuff happens. Anytime you live in an urban environment, stuff like that can happen. But going straight to taking someone's life just is not the right course of action. There's lots of times that you could talk it out, or maybe you shouldn't talk it out. Maybe just go away from the person, but you don't got to take their life. You're affecting so many people, and that's not going to actually make you feel better. When you kill them, it doesn't make you feel better. Oh, man. You know what I mean? You destroying somebody's, family, man. A lot of people get hurt by that, man. And I come from, this environment to where, like I said, and I like that we was taught to fight first. Right. You know what I mean? Because, my dad and all of them instilled in us somebody ready to go, then you get ready to go. And I fought and took a loss, and all I thought was when I come back, I gotta be better.
Right, me too.
I ain't even think about taking that man's life.
Right, and you know, we are ultimately animals, so I mean, we're gonna probably fight. You know what I mean? We're civilized and everything, but even with the civilization thing is what kind of makes me sad about a lot of our areas, and why I definitely want to work with you to help the communities, because it's like, I don't understand how we come this far in civilization, but we don't have shelter for all of our people. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, I'm gonna be a little, I ain't gonna say too much about it, but you gotta look at the top. Look at the top, and look at who's running the system and how they run it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a trickle down effect, you know, for a lot of times. That's if you don't have your own mind and your own thing. If you don't, first of all, you gotta respect God, man. If you got love and respect for God, then you're gonna treat people accordingly. If you know these is God's creations, you don't want no harm done to them. You're gonna do the best you can for them.
Right.
You know, you're not gonna, if you can get them out of the streets, you're gonna get them out of the streets. So I don't know what the operation is doing up top. You know what I mean? For them to, you know, not have a heart or not have a way to make a way for the people to be okay who's down in them levels to where they don't have nowhere to go, or they choosing not having nowhere to go. However it go. You know, you ain't carving out all this money that we giving out, tax money, all the type of money you getting. You know what I mean? That you could make a way for certain people to be okay.
Definitely. I mean, it seems like there's some kind of level of ultimate greed at the top, you know?
Yeah, sure. I mean, self-serving. I see that a lot with, you know, just not up top. You know, I'm seeing a lot of that on certain levels, man. It's self-serving. I try not to make it about me as much as possible, because I know it ain't. Right. You know, when I you know, eventually, you know, leave this shell of a body, it ain't gonna be about me, man. I'm trying to leave a legacy for other people to carry on, man.
Right. So Ikewear was that your first business that you ever started, or?
Yeah, that's the first one. Well, like I said, Man Circle was first.
Right. I'm sorry. Yeah, the circle.
And I ended up giving that business to someone else. I blessed someone else with that business. You know what I'm saying?
That's excellent.
I gave it to my little cousin. You know what I mean? He was acquiring and trying to, you know, do something different, and you know, he stayed out of the streets as much as he could.
Yeah.
And you know, I had room, so I gave him that. I gave him the Man Circle, and you know, I continued on with Ikewear, and now I got a new one called Route 412.
Oh, okay.
So get ready. Route 412 is coming to a store near you, which is the Marley's World Boutique, or wherever else we could, you know, put Route 412 to make it available, you know, for you guys.
Definitely. Well, I'm definitely gonna have to get some of that clothing for sure. So, other than I guess your businesses and stuff, is there anything else that you do around here that you're known for, or is Ikewear is the? Because I mean, Ikewear is a pretty big thing, so I was like, what else could you be known for? All I do is,
you know, my spare time, play chess, bowl, skate, watch boxing matches.
Yeah.
Had the opportunity to travel lately to go see my grandkids, you know, which is great. A little, I mean, not as much as time, but I got family time. Yeah. You know, a little family time. I don't really get that much. I try to stay focused. I try to stay busy because, you know, I'm always thinking about elevation, man. I'm always trying to think about how to get to another level, because my vision is big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm always working to try to see how I can elevate.
Well, definitely. I mean, and Ikewear is, like I said, Ikewear is already awesome. So I'm definitely excited to see what's coming after this. And I know Route 412 is going to be an excellent clothing line, and I'm looking forward to that. I know that I have a lot of people that will enjoy those clothes too. You know what I mean? And it's kind of universal with the Route 412.
Yeah. Route 412 was really gouting to say, you know, the route is the 412, which is Pittsburgh, which we represent in the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the route to go. You know what I mean? The route, however you want to say it, but it's Route 412, man. So we represent the city too, and letting people know that this is the route, man. Nice. Shout out my partner, man, Murph, man.
Appreciate that, man.
Shout out my guy. One of the things I'm trying to do up and coming is two things that I may try to get more involved in. It's three. I'm gonna say boxing, figuring out how to way to stop this violence, you know, with us and the youth. And then I'm trying to do more of a independent education. Because the thing that I notice about a lot of us is we don't know, we're not educated about ourselves.
Right.
Again, I always got to go God first, and then you got to go self. So you go to the study of God, which is the ultimate, the almighty, you know what I mean, everything. And then you come under and find out who you are, which derived from God. You know, you got to go back and see who you are, because unfortunately, a lot has been taken away from us as a people, you know, and we don't know who we are and how we are, you know what I mean? So we operate in certain ways, you know, that I feel that if we knew who we are, we wouldn't.
Right. I totally agree. And I think that's awesome. I definitely want to get involved with that too. I'm working on a system right now, a computer system called Chasm Workspaces that kind of goes along with the education system. And what it will do is make it so people that have like just a Chromebook or a low-end computer can log into the system and remotely access a more powerful mainframe.
Yeah,
so what we're going to be doing is giving it to the kids up there at the school.
Okay.
So like any of the kids that
Which school?
What's that called? My kids used to go to it.
Kelby.
The one that
Miller, they call it Miller.
Miller, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So we're planning on getting with them. My mom used to be a teacher here in Wilkinsburg High School.
Okay.
So she does a lot of education stuff. So we want to get with them and get the honor roll students and give them access to it, so like they can have access to these bigger computer systems.
Yeah.
You know, the kids that really are applying themselves, that are trying, because it costs a lot to run the system, so I don't have room to put everybody on it for now. I hope to grow it to there, but definitely with the education stuff, I love hearing that. And if there's anything I can do to be involved, I'd love to be. But
yeah, vice versa, man. So let me know, because you know that's what I say. Ikewear is a movement, man, because you know, essentially, you know, when we generate whatever funds that we do generate, we always looking to give back as much as we can. So whether it's a program, a computer program, whether it's the reading thing, whatever it is, man, my thing is, and my partner as well, because you know, shout out to Khalid, because she'll piggyback off of whatever I do as well, especially if it has to do with the kids in the community or families or wherever. And let me say this all the time, I always got to say this. Ain't no bias here. I don't do division. Ikewear's for everybody, and we'll do for any and everybody. And this is across the world for our people. And listen, at the end of the day, I do have humility. I'm for all the people, really. But you have to do for your people first, like others does for theirs. So that's my thing, you know.
Absolutely, man. Well, shout out to Ikewear. Shout out to Donnie Kyte, man. We appreciate your time so much.
Thank you.
This is an awesome business. Absolutely, man. And we'll do this again. Peace, everybody.
Let's go.